salam and thanks
Alaykum salam.
is the following. The fact that Prophet Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa were forgiven, but that some elements could be erased, they could not go back to the garden, for example. How might we understand this in the light of general tawbah? If we sincerely ask for tawbah and we're forgiven, then what might it mean that some elements will not be erased?
Yeah. Tawbah can help with removing the darkness and stopping the punishment. But it cannot restore everything. For example, if someone has made gambling and lost his house, he makes tawbah and Allah forgives him, but the house doesn't come back. Or if someone, for example, I don't know, has done something wrong and led to losing some, for example, was driving carelessly, killed someone. Okay, he's really sorry. He says, I'm never going to, drive like that, etc. Maybe Allah forgives him, but that person will not be revived. So tawbah doesn't undo everything. Tawbah helps with forgiveness, not being punished, or the darkness to be erased. But not everything which happened in the world can be undone.
The next question is about speaking of the weight of words. When people say words they do not believe, let's say for decoration or to express sympathy to some cause, is it void or does it have the effects of lying?
It depends. Sometimes it has little benefit. For example, I say salawat or la ilaha illallah. Maybe I'm not always saying it with attention, but it's good. At least I'm keeping myself busy with saying this word. But sometimes I say it without sincerity or to show off. So this is bad. This is better not to say it. So if there is a reduced attention, it's okay. I mean, okay means it's better than not saying it. But if it is with bad intention, then it's worse than not saying.
Is it correct to conclude our existence on earth is considered a punishment after Prophet Adam did not fully understand the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Therefore, the consequence of not following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command is for the human race to live on earth and endure the suffering as well as enjoying the blessings of our Creator on earth. And hence, this consequence is used for humans to know the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala firsthand by experiencing the goods and bads.
Is not a kind of punishment maybe for us. It was a consequence of what Adam alayhi salam did. He was advised not to do something that would lead to going out. So it was a irshad, we say. It was a kind of teaching. Like a doctor says that, if you want to be healthy, don't eat that food, for example. So doctor is not going to punish you, but this is the consequence. But on the other hand, we know that although it's more difficult to stay on the earth, actually this is where we have greatest potentialities on the earth. Yeah? If we were in that heaven or garden, then how could we experience great virtues like ithar? Yeah, if food was available for everyone, clothes was available for everyone, there was no shortage, how we could have people who are generous, people who share, people who give even priority to others than themselves, people who become martyrs, people, who offer great sacrifices. So we are in a more difficult, but at the same time, a greater place for improving ourselves.
Thank you. When Habil says to Qabil that he would not do the same, couldn't it be that he is actually explaining to him what is the problem and why his offerings were not accepted, asking him to look within himself and comparing it to what is inside his brother to show what is the real issue?
So when he says إنما يتقبل الله من المتقين, indeed he is indirectly telling him that you have to become muttaqi. If you want to be accepted, Allah doesn't accept arbitrarily. You have to become muttaqi.
After Salam also we have this question, what has led Habil to kill his brother?
What
has made Qabil kill his brother?
Yeah.
We presume that there is no spiritual defects inherited from their parents. Why was the first crime killing his own brother, or killing, which is such a severe crime? What is the manifestation of shirk? Was it for example, one guess is, was it the manifestation of Shaitan's envy to retaliate against Adam alayhi salam and humanity through his hands?
Of course, Shaitan may have some role, but Allah says تَبَّعَتْ نَفْسُهُ. So we cannot put everything only on Shaitan. His nafs ammare, تَبَّعَتْ نَفْسُهُ. Here Allah doesn't say Iblis deceived him. Yeah? So we don't deny role of Iblis, but Allah doesn't emphasize on the role of Iblis here. Allah says تَبَّعَتْ نَفْسُهُ. So he must have few problems at least. One, he must be a miserly person. Otherwise, why he offers to God his worst, product? He's miserly. Number two, he didn't have love for Allah. You don't offer to your beloved the worst thing that you have. So his iman was very low. He was very miserly. And he was very jealous to the extent that he was happy to kill his brother. So these are grave sins and problems. Maybe he had other problems like arrogance, because he was insisting on this and killing his brother. Even his brother said, I'm not going to kill you still. So he had many problems. And they were deep problems. They didn't start in one day. The problems were long-lasting problems. One day, the problems emerge. Like Shaitan had a problem for many years, but it was not obvious. Qabil also had problems. This is why we have to be very careful. We should not wait for a catastrophe to happen. If there is any problem, we have to fix it soon. You remember in self-development, I mentioned this story from Mawlavi Rumi about Kharkan, about a person who had a thorn outside his door and was annoying people. People who were passing by, were annoyed, and he was not removing. He was postponing. Then it became so big that even was hurting him, and he was not coming, for example, easily coming out and going inside. He tried to remove it, but by that time he had become very old and weak, and this thorn had become very strong. So he was not able to remove it. So this is a story of our problems. If when I am young, I don't fix my problems, then later when I am weak, I am, busy with many things, I have, less energy, the problem is also now more established, it's very difficult to fix. So it's better to fix it as soon as possible.
Thank you, Sheikh Al-Karim. And the
My
last
pleasure.
question, because it seems there was questions, but they are assumed to be addressed, is the following after Salam. As we relate to the story of Prophet Adam's sons, we are living in a very difficult time for the world where the murdering of innocent souls in the Muslim world especially happens regularly nowadays. Besides du'as, what is recommended during this time to enable us to drive change in ourselves in a world where tyranny is ruling and injustice is frequent?
Yeah. First of all, it just reminded me to say something about the ayah after 31. After Allah refers to a story of Habil and Qabil, then we have this famous ayah, من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا ولقد جاءتهم رسلنا بالبينات ثم إن كثيرا منهم بعد ذلك في الأرض لمسرفون. Allah says, because of this ugly act of murder, which led to khasara of Qabil. Not only Habil was killed, but Qabil became khasir. We don't say Habil was khasir, although sometimes the one who is killed is also deprived of opportunities. Maybe if this person was, if was allowed to continue, became better and better and better. So you deprive someone of progress. So maybe, for example, if a talaba is killed, or a wayfarer in early stages of his spirituality is killed, you are depriving him of becoming a great alim or great arif. But maybe somehow Allah is going to compensate for that person. But what about the killer? Certainly the killer is khasir, and then becomes not them. So because of all these things, Allah says, we have written down for Bani Israel that whoever kills another person without that person killing someone from them or doing any mischief on the earth is like killing all human beings. And whoever revives a person is like reviving all human beings. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَتْهُمْ رُسُلُنَا بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ. Our Rasul, our messengers, came to them with clear signs, but إِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنْهُمْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ فِي الْأَرْضِ لَمُسْرِفُونَ. But many of them, even after that, after we have registered this command, after we have sent the messengers with clear signs, still many of them are lamusrafun. They do things in excess. So this is very important Quranic command about saving lives. So now going back to your question, what should we do? So we have several responsibilities. One is to make this part of our education in every level, from family, school, madrasa, media, movies, games, everything that undermines the sacredness of human life. Indeed, we believe all kinds of life are sacred, but especially human life. Anything that undermines the sacredness of human life must be left aside. And we should make this awareness that killing one person is like killing all human beings. If one person is killed and we are indifferent, soon a time comes that thousands of people will be killed and we are indifferent. Because it's not a matter of number. It's a matter of the principle. If you don't appreciate one child, then if thousands of children are killed, you will not be indifferent. So, emphasis on sacredness of life is to be part of our education, and anything against that should be removed. Unfortunately, you see, many games are promoting violence, promoting killing, shedding blood, and sometimes people then bring this to the reality. They take gun and go to the school and kill, students. Some people, become soldiers and then they play the games on real people. So these are things that we have to stop. We have also ourselves to do our best to be voices of justice, peace, mercy, humanitarian, works. And I have this idea that if, for example, someone is doing harm to people, and I cannot stop that person. If I can stop, I should stop that person. But if I cannot stop that person, they are causing mischief, they are causing brutality and lack of mercy. In your capacity, do something great. Do some charity work, help some people. If you can help those oppressed people, do that. If you cannot, even you have no access to them, do something locally. Bring some light to this world. This will stop that harm somehow, because the world is connected each other. For example, another example, I bring it to a family level. For example, suppose your sister is married to someone and the husband or the family of husband don't treat her with love and respect. So one way is to try to talk to them, for example, find a way, or help your sister, But another way, maybe you can, of course, have both, but sometimes the first one doesn't work. Now show more love and respect to your wife. Encourage your, for example, family members to be more kind to their wives. This will, inshallah, help your sister as well. Because if you do your best sincerely, Allah will be on your side. And then when your hands are not open, He will help. So if, for example, there are people that I can have mercy on them, let me have more mercy on them, so that inshallah Allah will help our brothers and sisters who are deprived of mercy. So this is also an idea that I wanted also to share.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Kareem. I believe I have one last question, small question.
Yes.
Are some or all human beings descendants of Qabil?
Pardon?
Are some or all human beings? So are we all descendants of Qabil, or some of us only? Or none of us?
We are all children of Adam and Eve, but did they have other sons later or not? It's not clear. At least I don't remember in my readings if they had other children also that we could be from them. Maybe they had. There's nothing to deny that. we know that we are children of Adam and Eve, but how many children they had, how many grandchildren they